Morgen und herzlich willkommen, liebe Presskollegen, liebe Partner, liebes Team. Good morning and warm welcome, dear colleagues from the press, our partners and our team. Ich bin Trisha Tattel, die Intendantin der Berlinale. Es ist mir eine Freude, Ihnen heute unser Programm für 2026 vorzustellen. It's our pleasure today to tell you more about the rest of our program for 2026. Following a strong edition last year, we're so looking forward to the 76th Berlin International Film Festival in just a few short weeks. We also look forward to welcoming you, our colleagues, and our international press colleagues and professionals who will join us in Berlin. And of course, we are really looking forward to welcoming the eager audiences who brave the cold every year to come and meet our filmmakers, to see the stars on the red carpet, and to see the incredible cinema that we have on offer. In fact, to warm themselves at the fireside of cinema. Last year I discovered these are real warriors for cinema, and it has felt, I'm sure, to many people here in recent years like we are in a battle for this art form that we love so dearly. It's a battle to keep independent cinemas open, to keep distributors and exhibitors who champion independent film thriving, and making sure they can still take risks. It's a battle to ensure that cinema culture can retain its breadth. And for you journalists, I'm sure you feel you battle to make sure you have the space to write about films. But rest assured, Damen und Herren, we have seen some great cinema this year, so the films are as great as ever, but we must all work together to make sure that the infrastructure is strong, so that filmmakers can still reach audiences, and so that audiences can still see films in cinemas. And this is hugely important to us. It's an aside that I hardly need to say because we affirm it so often, but seeing films in cinemas is something that the Berlinale really champions. It is undeniably the most powerful way to see an artist's creation and to become immersed in the world of the film. But it's also a really terrific place, a really important place to sit with strangers and friends and try to build a potent and communal experience together. And right now we need more communal experiences rather than fewer. It's also good for business. Going to cinemas is good for the whole of the film industry. But last year I saw how passionate and adventurous our audiences were at the Berlinale firsthand. It's really inspiring to see how much they treasure this communal experience. We had in 2025 our best admissions ever, an amazing 340,000 admissions to the festival from public audiences, and more than 115,000 further admissions from industry audiences at the festival. And this is 20,000, almost 20,000 press and industry colleagues who come to Berlin for the festival. Altogether, this amounts to an extraordinary 455,000 admissions in 10 days. So the Berlinale connects filmmakers with audiences, but these are public audiences and also professional audiences. Last year, and as with every year, we love welcoming stars, and we cheer throughout the rest of the year to see artists like Ethan Hawke or Rose Byrne, whose films started their journey at the Berlinale in 2025, go on to great awards recognition. We also, though, very much relish the role that we play in building anticipation for bold and new and unknown work, breaking new voices, and also enabling discovery of cinema. We're really invested across the whole of the Berlinale family in supporting the industry as it evolves for the future. We do this through the bustling European film market and our other programs within the Berlinale Pro family. Together, they bring film and media professionals together to do business, but also to innovate and find creative solutions to some of the challenges that we face together as an industry. And they also do something very vital, which is build visibility and networks for independent cinema and the artists who make this work. So all together, we're here for everybody who wants to see a future where independent cinema not just survives, but also thrives. Part of any strategy for the future has to be about how we address the next generation of cinema goers. And this year we're expanding our offer for 18 to 25-year-olds, the next generation of cinephiles. For nearly 5 decades, the festival has delivered a program of films for children and young adults through generation, and our new Cine 25 offer builds on this with a low-cost ticket for this 18 to 25-year-old group, the young adult group. We've put together a curated selection of films for them to access across the whole festival at a very low ticket price of €6. Of course, nurturing new filmmakers is also really important to us at the festival, and we tackle this through the EFM's brand new Film Schools program, through Berlinale Talents, and also through our Perspectives competition that we're going to tell you more about in just a few minutes. First, I want to say a huge thanks to the Minister of State for Culture and the Media, Dr. Wolfram Weimer, and the governing mayor of Berlin, Kai Wegner, as well as to our principal partners. Armani Beauty are with us again as our beauty partner, and they're going to look after our talent and make them look great for their premieres, and hopefully make me up a little as well too, please, Armani. Cupra join us again this year, and this year they're going to be expanding their support of filmmakers with a short film competition called the Dream Makers, which is in partnership with Berlinale Talents and Studio Babelsberg. So thank you so much to these principal partners, these main partners, and also the almost 40 corporate partners who support the work that we do, and they've reaffirmed their belief in our mission this year. We absolutely could not do the festival without them, and we're hugely, hugely grateful for that support. So together, we are going to celebrate the films and the filmmakers and all of the adventurers, including those of you in the room today with us who really cherish the work they do. Now, I'd love to welcome to the stage our co-directors of film programming, Jacqueline Lianga and Mikhail Stutz. Little falls. We together want to thank our selection committee and our advisors and delegates who've worked so hard on the festival this year, particularly on the competition and perspectives lineup, which we're going to announce today, and the special Berlinale special, which we announced last week.
Yes, and we also really want to thank our colleagues who work with us every day, every week, every hour. Thank you to everyone in Panorama, Generation, Shorts, Forum, and Forum Expanded, Retrospective, and Classics.
And finally, I want to thank the heads of Berlinale Pro who are here with us today, European Film Market Team, Talents, World Cinema Fund, and co-production market colleagues. Stick around afterwards, and they're happy to answer any questions you might have. I'd also encourage you all to look at the many program announcements that we've made across the public sections of the festival and our professional sections of the festival in the last week. There's been a lot of really great news coming out on not just films, but also projects in development.
Yes, there are so many, so we cannot fully revisit them here on stage, but a few highlights from across the sections. For instance, we have films and series by Gore Verbinski, Mona Fastwold, Riti Pan, Ulrike Oettinger, Ruth Beckermann, Haile Gerima, Hong Sang-soo, Sam Pollard, Jack Thorne, or Charlotte Regan. We have also new development projects for film and television series from Alonso Luis Palacios, Ken Burns, or Ilka Chatak. And there's so many interesting works, and there's also so much great on-screen talent to see. And some of them are Isabelle Huppert, Amanda Seyfried, Alexander Skarsgård, Bella Ramsey, or Charlie XCX, just to name a few.
And many more today to be announced.
Yes, but before we reveal the final films, here are a few interesting statistics. 40% of our films are female-directed or co-directed. 4% have directors who identify as non-binary, and there are 80 countries represented in the program across all sections.
Shall we go ahead and do the film announcements?
Yes.
Yeah. Perspectives is our first feature competition, which we launched last year. It's dedicated to fiction debuts and hybrid fiction debuts, and the films in this section compete for €50,000, an award endowed by Gay VFF. Today, we're going to announce 13 films with the possibility of a 14th title to come. In the Perspectives competition, we have 11 world premieres, 1 international premiere, and 1 European premiere.
Okay, kick it off. Macedonian director Kozara Mitic brings a bracing energy and intimacy to her debut 17. Capturing the toxic gender dynamics during a school trip, Mitic's hard-hitting drama explores the bonds that develop between two young women when the behavior of their male classmates goes unchecked.
Ashley Walters is best known in the UK as a rapper and actor. And with Animal, he steps confidently into the role of director, assembling a terrific young cast with Tut Nuot and Ukrainian refugee Vladislav Balyuk. Walters gives this coming-of-age youth detention drama fresh poignancy.
Interesting fact here is that one of the producers of Animal is Joy Gororo Akpoktutor, whose directorial debut Dream screened in Panorama last year.
Making his fiction debut after acclaimed documentary Little Palestine, director Abdallah Al-Hatib presents Chronicles from the Siege. This is the story of ordinary people trapped in a nameless city under siege, and the film observes the daily life of these people from the aftermath of a bomb blast to a moment of rare intimacy, and also the pleasure of a single cigarette amidst the despair.
Next up is Entre Fluvial, in where a country boy travels to the big city to find answers to the questions that puzzle him. From the first striking frames of a boy perfecting a traditional dance, Argentinian duo Lorenzo Ferro and Lucas Viñale bring a magical cinematic language to their debut.
And I think this is definitely one of the many films we have in the festival in perspective section that has such incredible look, and it's so amazing to see how the filmmakers have such a command of cinematic language even with their first debuts.
Yes, very, very stylish, as is this next film. Rafael Manuel returns to the Berlinale with Filipinana, a feature adaptation of his Silver Bear-winning short. In this candy-colored, highly choreographed debut, new girl Isabel is strangely drawn to the president of the country club where she works. But underneath the pristine surfaces, sinister realities lie between them.
Previous Locarno short film winner Manon Cubia takes us to the Northern Alps for Forest High. In the film, three caretakers take turns looking after a mountain hut and welcoming hikers through the seasons. And again, this is such a beautiful, expressive camera. We all found it really delicate and spellbinding.
In Hangar Rojo, Chilean director Juan Pablo Sayato shows the moral dilemma of a military captain, Jorge Silva, during the 1973 military coup. The script is brilliant, it's inspired by true events, and that really explores the tension between institutional duty and individual responsibility.
An incredible lead performance from Nicolas Zarate.
Exactly.
And more exciting, really strong writing in Der Heimatlose, which brings a distinctive formalism in design to more grounded performances. It is an ambitious debut from acclaimed short filmmaker and director and writer Kai Staneke. It's a layered period piece that examines an island community driven to deep mistrust when they can't recognize one of their own returning after a 14-year absence.
We were also transfixed by Nosso Sagrado, which is a moving directorial debut from Brazilian playwright and actress Grace Passo. This portrait of a family reeling from the death of a patriarch explores communal and solitary grief and does it in such an imaginative way.
Yes, and this is a filmmaker who really gives space for graceful performances, for fragility. I love seeing actors direct actors. Mm.
Our next film is set in the aftermath of the American Civil War. In Dara von Dussen's A Prayer for the Dying, which follows Jacob, who's the town's sheriff, undertaker, and pastor all in one person. His dream of a new life is disrupted when an epidemic starts to spread. Johnny Flynn and John C. Reilly give, again, standout performances in this psychedelic visual fever dream.
Take Me Home from American director Liz Sargent exposes the challenges that the healthcare system in the United States places on people with disabilities and their families. It's devastating, but also bracingly optimistic and emotional.
It's also a very personal story, this film of the director. Her sister Anna is playing the lead, and she's really fantastic in it.
The next film is also very topical. Muriel de Assenburg's Truly Naked sees a quiet teenager his perception of sexuality and desire is shaped through his father's amateur porn business. But he develops a relationship with an empowered feminist at his school, and it really pushes him to understand how limited his assumptions are about sexuality.
Yeah. And you might not know it from what Trisha just said about it, but this is actually a very heartwarming story about love with some really incredible breakout performances from the two leads.
And to a last film in perspectives. In the wee hours after the clubs close, a Palestinian Uber driver picks up a young Israeli passenger. Where To is a sensitively written and performed chamber piece, directed by Asaf Machnis. His films follows the duo through a series of shifting encounters while the city of Berlin still sleeps.
And he's one of the many Berlinale talents who are in our program.
And now we arrive at the official competition. This is the centerpiece of the Berlinale, where the best international films compete for golden and silver bears. Official competition features 20 world premieres and 2 international premieres.
Cornel Mundruskos joins us for his expansive drama At the Sea. The film sees a woman returning to her family's coastal home after rehab and where she has to navigate the damage she's left behind. Amy Adams is absolutely enthralling in the lead with a great ensemble that includes Murray Bartlett, Dan Levy, Rainn Wilson, and the hugely impressive emerging talent, Chloe East.
Next, French-Senegalese director Alain Goumi, who won the Berlinale Silver Bear for Félicité, returns to a competition with Dao. A wedding in France and a commemorative ceremony in Guinea-Bissau are woven together with the threads of family and heritage that travel between these two worlds. Love, laughter, pain, and history intertwined.
And 1990 set period piece Dust is a gripping sophomore feature from Anke Blonde. When their embezzlement is detected, 2 tech entrepreneurs react in utterly distinct ways to the time they have left before their arrest. A superb study of human nature and a cracking thriller.
German director Eva Trobisch's third feature, Etwas ganz Besonderes, sees her return to the Berlinale after Evo in 2024. Trobisch really impresses with a multi-layered script and an excellent ensemble of actors who embody this tale of a fractured German family torn between East and West. The film has such a multitude of ideas, and it's orchestrated through a very dazzling montage.
Photographer and documentary filmmaker Grant Gee brings decades of experience exploring the lives and work of musicians to Everybody Digs Bill Evans. His deep affinity for music comes through each frame of this monochromatic drama, which stars Anders Danielsen Lai as the troubled jazz pianist, alongside Laurie Metcalf and Bill Pullman. Great cast.
After his Oscar-nominated The Teacher's Lounge, Ilker Çatak joins the competition with Gelbe Briefe. Complex, imaginative, and forthright, the drama explores the effects of escalating state oppression on a married couple from Ankara. Çatak's film conveys its urgency with verve and artistic integrity.
With Josephine, Brazilian-American Beth De Arujo delivers a really personal story to the Berlinale. It's her second feature as director and her first film in competition, and it's filled with care and creativity. It's a psychological thriller that captures the trauma and the powerlessness of a family whose sense of safety has been shattered. Leading the cast are Channing Tatum, Gemma Chan, and newcomer Mason Reeves as Josephine.
Turkish director Emin Alper, whose debut won the Caligari Prize at the Berlinale in 2012, joins us with his richly cinematic latest, Salvation. Creating a parable of great contemporary resonance, Alper takes us to a remote village where an exiled clan returns, reviving a decades-old feud over land.
Beloved directing duo Titza Covey and Rainer Frimmel are returning this year to Berlin with their first competition entry, The Loneliest Man in Town. Blending elements of fact with fiction, Covey and Frimmel welcome us into the meticulously drawn world of a Viennese blues musician, offering a tender view on a vanishing world and emergent new dreams.
2-time Silver Bear winner Angela Schanelek returns to the competition with Meine Frau weint, Observing a series of relationships through her precisely controlled yet playful mise-en-scène and her choreography of bodies, Chanelec delivers a film that punctuates her trademark formal austerity with moments of real wit and lightness.
Fernando Eimke's Moscas takes us into the lives of three people living very much on both the margins of the city and their emotional capacity. Teresita Sanchez shines in this tender tale, shot beautifully in black and white. Eimke's return to the competition this year is a story of the unexpected ways in which our lives can become tragically and joyously intertwined.
Yoshitoshi Shinomiya's first solo feature, A New Dawn, follows more than a decade as an artist on major anime works, including box office smash Your Name. Shinomiya's use of color beautifully captures the Japanese countryside and the fireworks at the center of a story about a group of young people navigating the impacts of climate change on their picturesque village.
Berlinale talent and former Crystal Bear winner Geneviève Duluth-Dussel presents Nina Rosa in competition. An art dealer, played skillfully by Galine Stoev, travels from Quebec to find an elusive preteen prodigy who paints masterpieces in the Bulgarian countryside. Duluth-Dussel's elegant script explores notions of what it means to return home.
In his long-awaited second feature, Queen at Sea, Lance Hammer returns to the festival, to the competition actually, with a tender story about the challenges of taking care of an aging parent with dementia. Juliette Binoche and Tom Courtney lead an impressive cast in exploring some of the ethical questions that arise around agency and consent. And Train Dreams DOP Adolfo Veloso captures London awash with a really beautiful fading light.
Karim Ainous brings us Rosebush Pruning, a modern riff on Bellocchio's Fists in the Pocket, with a script by Efthimis Philippou, the screenwriter behind The Killing of a Sacred Deer. Callum Turner, Elle Fanning, Riley Keough, Jamie Bell, Pamela Anderson, Lucas Gage, and Tracy Letts star in this twisted thriller about a privileged family unraveling when dark secrets emerge.
Shot in crisp black and white, Rose, Marcus Schleinzer, is set at the end of the 30 Years' War, and it features a very sharp performance, central performance from Sandra Hüller. Meticulously controlled in his artistic expression, Schleinzer's third feature, after Michael and Angelo, is a striking entry into this year's competition.
As is from renowned Chadian filmmaker Mahamat Saleh Haroun, director of the prize-winning A Screaming Man, we have Tsum Tsum, La Nuit des Astres, the story of a young woman who is gifted with supernatural powers and visions she does not understand, until she meets a woman who knew the mother she has never known. And the rich visual tapestry, cinematography is quite beautiful of Haroun's film. It immerses you in a mystical world where the visible and the invisible collide.
In her third feature, In a Whisper, Leila Bouzid crafts an intergenerational tale of tenderness, love, and secrets as a young woman returns from Paris to her Tunisian family home for a funeral. Bouzid draws on playful formal elements with hints of a detective story peppered into this touching family drama. A strong ensemble features the great Hiam Abbas.
Anthony Chen's We Are All Strangers is beautifully shot and brimming with heart and big emotions. Chen reunites Yan Yan Yo and Jia Leco for a final part of a trilogy that he began with Ilo Ilo and Wet Season. This sweeping family epic finds two generations looking for love, meaning, and a better life in a contemporary, bustling Singapore.
With Wolfram, Warwick Thornton screens at the Berlinale for the 6th time, having won 2 awards in Berlin for his short films and screened across many sections, but this will be his first time in competition. A sequel to 2017's Sweet Country, Wolfram is the story of 2 young Aboriginal siblings who make a daring escape to reunite with their family in this outback Western tale of kinship and colonial reckoning.
Documentary, Yo, Love is a Rebellious Bird, paints a vivid picture of a one-of-a-kind iconoclast and also an unusual friendship between 2 women separated by 5 decades in age. moving from verite footage to sequences shot in a handmade scale model of the protagonist's house. Anna Fitch and Banker White offer a whimsical and wildly creative tribute to a woman who lived her life as a defiant original.
And finally, Hannah Bergholm joins the competition with her eagerly awaited second feature, Nightborn. Following Hatching, Bergholm offers a more unsettling and visceral genre-tinged pleasures. Zaidi Harla and Rupert Grint play expectant parents who move into their dream home deep in the Finnish forests in this very dark fairy tale about motherhood and uneasy maternal love.
So that is our bumper, beautiful competition. We fell in love with so many films this year, and I think what was exciting for us as a selection committee is just how diverse these films are. Really think there are lots of really interesting films for the market that haven't been sold yet, but we also really, really believe that there is something exciting for all kinds of audiences, whatever your tastes are, whatever kind of cinema you like. You will find filmmakers working at the top of their game in this competition, but doing their own thing as well, too. And I really, really believe that if you don't find something that you love here, then you don't love cinema. So fighting words, but it's a challenge. But really, it's been such a pleasure to watch these films. Thank you, guys. Thanks so much to the team. And we will see you all in 22 days at the Berlinale.
Very soon.
Very soon, yeah.
Thank you
Thank you very much.
Thank you.